Hello, Reggie back for Reggie's Rants. It's going to be another short one. I don't have much time. I'm on my break. But, and please pardon the nasaliness. I don't know if you can hear it or not. It's just I'm not doing too hot. Was sick over the weekend. It's not fun. Anywho, um, I wanted to bring up the fact that in recent news, it's actually been brought to light that not only has the Pentagon, the actual U.S. Pentagon, have an office that is officially investigating UFOs. That they've pretty much said, yeah, we are, and I'm like, nice. Don't know what prompted them to do that, but I'm not going to complain. I mean, so many of us firmly believe that not only is our government actively investigating UFOs, some of us who believe that they have not only met them but also work with them. Admittedly, I do believe again that they UFOs. I mean, I know UFOs have visited us. I like to think that on some level, the government we know of this, if not have communicated with them. Um, I do get why we would want to take time to release that information, given the human race and how uh, territorial territorial we are with what we have currently, with different constructs within our societies, religion, politics. That mix by itself has already yielded like death and destruction before, and so introduce sentient galaxy skipping extraterrestrials, and it could get worse. Personally, I'm kind of pulling for the scenario that happened in Star Trek, where when humanity first met the Vulcans, they united. They're like, oh wait, we're not the only ones in the universe. We should put our petty BS aside because there's so many there's other beings out there. So fingers crossed that that's the outcome that eventually happens. Now, anyway, back to the article. But yeah, they've admitted that yes, we have a wing, a department. It could just be a guy for all I know, but there is some kind of formal investigatory body that is being used to investigate UFOs. So cool. Uh, but also in this article, which I thought was really interesting, was it told the story of a pilot, David Frovar. Frovar? Frovar? David. His name was David. And he'd been he'd been a pilot for 18 years, and they were doing like a normal training mission in 2004 off the coast of California, and they get word that there's some kind of object deaccelerating from like, well, I don't know if it was deaccelerating, but it went from 80,000 feet to 20,000 feet, which is significant. That's 60,000 whole feet difference. So it came from high, came down low. Well, when they get there, when they get close to it, he described it as a tic tac like object. So we're thinking cylinder like. Corners are there aren't really any corners, which kind of fit with some of our theories. Like in space, there's no reason to have edges. You don't have to cut through air like our planes do. That's one of the reasons why they're pointed. It helps them fly through the air more efficiently. So it kind of fits in with that. So it's a tic tac like shape, and it was just kind of hovering above the water. The pilot David made a comment saying that it was affecting the water, but not like you would see on an airplane or a helicopter. That being, if it's a standard helicopter, and like look at any video of either someone of them dropping people in the ocean or pulling people from the ocean, the rotor output you'll see causes a large, area of water just to be pushed back and kind of creates little mini waves. It's clear. It's the output of the wind. It's force of the that the rotors are putting out. And then if you have a plane that can hover, let's say like a Harrier, and it's shooting jets down to keep its propulsion. The jet actually then positions downwards, and it helps keep the plane upwards. It generates enough force to have the plane hover. Well, if you're pushing that kind of force down, then you know the water will be affected. But in this case, in a very centralized local area, wherever that thruster is being pointed at. So he didn't go into detail exactly how he thought it was displaying it. He didn't really put it into words. He just said that, you know, it's not something he's seen before. And I'm sorry, I'm willing to trust a pilot of 18 years. And he even said, like, yeah, I hadn't been drinking. I was middle of a mission. You know, you got to be sharp on those things because you're flying, $1 million worth of pieces of equipment, and it's a training mission. So, and I trust his judgment in the sense of he's been around planes and helicopters his entire career. So he knows how that happens. I bet he can tell you exactly what it'll look like if a helicopter landed on a grassy field and what it would look like afterwards. Yeah, as far as the displacement of the rotors for helicopter. So we have this, and I'm like, huh, fascinating, because why so forthcoming? I mean, yes, a lot of us again believe that the government's fully aware of aliens. Again, some of us believe that we've come in contact with them, and some believe we actively contact them, and that it's an ongoing relationship. And yeah, so what does this say? Well, first, I really wish I got a glimpse of the ship. There was a video. You might be able to find the article, but again, if you just want to search, the search criteria could be David Fravor, Fravor, Fravor. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. But look it up, because just the idea that this man doesn't necessarily sound like he's a believer, but from his experience, he derived through logic. Yeah, there's no way. Oh, that is something I reminded myself of. He says it eventually accelerated way. Like they were pulling in, they're about 60 miles out, and this thing just took off faster than anything he's ever seen. So that lends itself to, again, non-terrestrial forms of propulsion. If it could take off that quick, you don't have to worry about factors like inertia, which, I'm sorry, if you can travel across space, I think inertia's, you've gotten that down. You can either completely negate that altogether, or you can temper it somehow. So and then the fact that this thing's defying gravity, hovering, tic-tac shape, so it does so even through the air. Now that it's in our atmosphere, even through the air, it can take off as quickly as this guy describes. And now keep in mind, he's sitting in a jet. Okay, these things aren't exactly slow. All right, and there's no telling what kind of jet it is, if it's the fastest of its model. There's so many different factors here, but jet, again, not slow. This thing just took off. So, like, wow, okay, cool. Because now even with this technology, it is still in our atmosphere. It has to deal with our conditions. But according from his description, this thing had no problem with that. Which, let's be honest, any civilization who can travel the stars, a little bit of oxygen is not gonna. If you can travel between planets, between solar systems and galaxies, in a time frame that doesn't age you, where you don't come back to your planet and it's been a couple hundred years, then dealing with in atmosphere issues is a very, very small drop in the bucket. So, but I just found it fascinating. Again, I love the fact that the government's disclosing the fact that they have this, openly disclosing this, and willfully disclosing they have this office that investigates UFOs. A lot of us already knew they did, but just the fact that they're willing to say it publicly gives me hope. What else are they going to tell us eventually publicly about UFOs? I wonder. So, that's my rant. I got to be getting back here soon. But definitely leave comments below. Let me know what you think. This is some interesting stuff, some interesting times, and a nice distraction. Yeah, I'm not going to get political or anything, but anywho, on a much lighter note, I'm Reggie. Thanks for watching, and peace out.